Fiat currency is paper currency that is issued by government fiat or decree. The reason it's issued by government decree or fiat is because ordinarily no one would accept it or use it because it can no longer be redeemed for silver or gold. After all, it's just paper. Redeem simply means the act of taking your paper currency into your local bank and have them give you gold or silver in exchange for it. In other words, the bank will redeem specie as evidenced by your paper. They will give you the amount of gold or silver specie written on the face of your paper bills. If the face of your paper bill, for example, says $10 of silver certificate, the bank will give you $10 worth of silver. So how much silver is this? Well, it depends on the current definition of a dollar when you try to redeem your silver. What most people don't understand is a dollar is a unit of weight. So once a dollar is defined, the bank knows how much silver to trade or redeem you for your $10 silver certificate. Pursuant to the Coinage Act of 1792, a dollar is defined as 371.25 grains of pure silver. Since 1 ounce equals 437.5 grains, a dollar contains exactly 0.849 ounces of pure silver. Thus, when you go to the bank with your $10 silver certificate, the teller will give you 8.49 ounces of silver in coin form. Since silver is a soft metal, the coins are never 100% pure silver. So a coin's weight is always a composite of silver and some other hardening metal, as an example. Thus, the bank will redeem the $10 silver certificate most likely with a $10 eagle, 2 half eagles, or 10 silver dollar coins. But if any of this has confused you, the good news is this. You don't have to get lost in any of these details. You can define a dollar as whatever you want. The government can define a dollar as whatever it wants. The free market can define a dollar as what it wants. The last, of course, which is the free market, is the only valid definition. But when we go back into a gold standard, as many say we will probably have a new Coinage Act passed by Congress to get things started. Just as there has been a total of 3 central banks over the past years, there have been about 6 Coinage Acts as well. The earliest one was the Coinage Act of 1792, and the most recent one was the Coinage Act of 1965. The Coinage Act of 1792 established the original definition of what a dollar was to be, how much silver there was supposed to be in a dollar coin, or redeemed for a paper dollar certificate. This is what we could go back to when the gold standard is reinstated. But most people don't know or remember the infamous Coinage Act of 1965. At least we should. That was an act of misguided Congress that turned our quarters, dimes, half dollars into clad tokens. On the 23rd of July 1965, the Congress, operating in its own interest and in the interest of the greedy New York bankers, against the interest of we the people, removed all silver from dimes, quarters, and debased the silver content in half dollars down to 40% from 90%. Then they made up the weight and size of the coins with copper. Remember the ugly copper sandwich that suddenly appeared in the middle of all coins starting in 1965? So the question to ask yourself is, who did this and why? Well, the answer to the question is this: elite banks and the U.S. Congress. These 2 entities conspired to debase the currency not only by lowering and removing the silver content, but by making none of the paper silver certificates redeemable in silver any longer. They had already accomplished this with gold certificates long ago. Now they were robbing the U.S. citizens of their silver. Why were they doing this is the question. If you go to Wikipedia, which has become a dictionary of establishment propaganda, it says the Act of 1965 was in response to coin shortages caused by the rising price of silver. The rising price of silver? Are you sure? How can silver rise in price when the price is defined in silver? Point 1. Point 2. As G. Edward Griffin explains on page 141 of his book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, Wiki has used the old fallacy known as a misleading theory of quantity again. Thus, as there is nothing you can take away from watching this video, please come away with at least one of these points, which is this: the amount of gold and silver in existence is irrelevant to the ability to use gold or silver as money. The fallacy of quantity is the number one way apologists for fiat currency attempt to invalidate the gold standard. It's the number one way they attempt to brainwash you into using paper currency, or better known as fiat currency. The reason is simple. These people want us all using paper money because they can endlessly print paper money. But one thing they cannot print is gold or silver.